job, Doc Raider. Let's go! Let's go. Didn't imitate it. Never duplicated it. That bull with no hair. That shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! Woo! The Raider Bear! I'm Raiders! Freaking Morty Raiders!
All right. Can you laugh at yourself? Is that okay? Can you can you laugh at your own opening? I like my opening, but it still makes me laugh. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I appreciate you all tuning in tonight for Raider Bear Live. And I would just like to take a moment and say, Trinity! Josh! Russell! The heavyweight champion of Raider Bear Live, still undefeated even when threatened by Dustin King. He has fallen off the pace, and the king reigns once more. Second place, my silver medal, Vincent Rubalcaba. He knows I love his name. I'm going to try and say it different like every time he wins. Third place, my bronze medal, and you guys know I love it when a Raiderette slides into the sausage fest that is my medal round, full of nothing but dudes. Well, third place tonight with my bronze medal, Candy Dimnioski. KD, what's up, love? Welcome to the show. You wouldn't happen to have Mr. Dimnioski watching, would you? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Jets, Jets, they're best. MESS, Jets, they're best. Yeah, you're not going to get Aaron, and you're not going to get Derek, and you're not going to get any wins, and you're going to go, That's New York's tradition. You have one win from 1922, I think it was. Just roasting Mr. Dimnioski. I love you, brother. Your wife's the bomb. You married well. Rick Samarano, always there. Aloha to Raider Bear. Appreciate you, brother. Bob Stannard, my good friend in the house. Jim Vanderland. Bear! Hi, Kim Calhoun. Welcome to the show. Ted Thane. Hey, what's up, brother? Much love to you right back. Appreciate that. John LaJoy. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Joel Irons. My dog having brother. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. And let's see what we got here. James Walker in the house. The lovely Princetta. Hi, Princetta. Nice, right? Thank you, Kim Calhoun. I appreciate the love on the opening. Corinna Trujillo, one of my favorites. Here to spoil the Raider Bear. Doc Raider. Hi, Val. Hi, Doc Raider. Hi, Tommy. Good to see you guys. Miguel Garcia, 559 Fresno. Kakalaki in the house. What's up, Miguel? Denton Rhodes. What's up, Cape Canaveral, Florida? And Space Force on my mind. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Kim Calhoun said it best. Raiders. You know what I mean? I'm not like these other fans, okay? I'm not like these other fans. I can't walk away. I can't give up. I hate it when a Raider fan looks at me and goes, Bear, I've had enough. I'm like, wait. Let me stop you right there, okay? What do you mean you can't take it anymore? You've had enough. You done being a Raider fan? Then I don't have anything else I need to hear from you. Get out. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these guys that wants to hear former Raider fan go, well, we've just been losing for a decade plus, and I'm just so sick of Mark Davis. And blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Look at Mr. Dimnioski. He's been a loser almost his entire life. These poor Jets fans. Oh, Rodney Fuller, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Michael Smar said, hey there from Central Missouri, Raider Nation 573. What's up, Michael? Welcome to the show. Great profile pic. Rodney Fuller, I am getting in the podcast game. I decided to jump in with both feet. Joel Irons, I do not think Josh Jacobs is happy. They have until, oh, wow, I think it was today. Yeah, they had until today to negotiate like a larger dollar figure with him or finalize some sort of contract, because there were whispers that the Raiders were going to throw some kind of bonus at him. I haven't heard what the final number is on getting franchise tag, but I do know it's basically $10 million. It's going to be 10.1 or 10.3 or, somewhere in that window. But he's basically going to get around $10 million. Now, for those of you who think, wow, why is he upset? He's getting $10 million for one season. Well, the reason he's upset is because he's actually worth quite a bit more than that. When you compare annually what other running backs get that run for the yards and touchdowns that he does. In other words, stars. And let's not forget, Josh Jacobs was number one last year, finished the year number one. So with that being said, whoever has the most money, he should in reality be getting somewhere near that or more, because he outplayed all the other running backs. But I thought, honestly, that the Raiders would do a good faith deal with him and they would give him $12 million, somewhere in that range, 12.4, 12.8 million, which is really closer to the 1 year average rated for the higher running backs in the league. Now, it's not Saquon Barkley money, but it's close. I don't know how many of you saw that, but Saquon Barkley got a new deal, and or not a new deal, but they franchise tagged him and they gave Daniel Jones a new deal. And so, you see Saquon Barkley's going through the same thing. It doesn't matter what your running back credentials are. Running backs right now are just being devalued by all owners and coaches throughout the league. You get the yards out of them that you can and you get away. That's what analytics is telling them. What do you think about the tag on Jacobs? Do you think he is gone after the slap in the face? Vincent Rubalcaba, to my knowledge, you can franchise tag someone at least twice. So I don't know that we wouldn't do it again. I don't know. And then more importantly, even if we do try to make a deal with him, we're not going to pay him what he probably thinks he's worth. So I have to imagine after this, he's probably gone. I was on YouTube, but for the life of me, could not figure out how to get a comment on there back on Facebook. Yeah, Dustin King, I know sometimes people have had some problems with YouTube. I confess, I can't help you with that. Marky Lashley, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Kim Calhoun, I appreciate the love. Brian Balding, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Bear. Kendall Stewart said, sup, Bear. Kendall, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Would you pull the trigger on Hendon Hooker if he goes in the third? If he makes it to the third, depending on other, yeah. Rick Samarano. I think that's a healthy risk to take, just because Hendon Hooker was showing himself to be a pretty good talent before the leg injury started. So I would say now with today's science, you got to give him a shot. Now, in the past, I wouldn't do that, but I've learned my lesson from Tua Tagovailoa. You can't have a hip separation and make it to the NFL. You just can't. I mean, if you had asked me that, I'd have said you're crazy. That's something that happens to 60-year-olds and car accident victims, not football players. And so when he had that happen to him, I thought, no way he makes it in the NFL. I just thought, no way. I thought someone would sign him, but he would just be on someone's bench as a backup or something like that. And instead, they went full on, bring him in as the starter, and he's been a mess. He's been okay. I know he's got a lot of combine hype, but I really think Richardson would be a great pickup for us, and he could fall to 7 without having to move up. Rodney Fuller, welcome to the show. A lot of mystery there. A lot of mystery. You have to understand, he's not an accurate passer. Okay. Now, I don't like it when they say that about black quarterbacks, because I found that sometimes they say it whether they know it or not. They just assume it because they're black and because they run first and throw second. And that's not accurate. There are some quarterbacks who have great arms, who can run for first downs, but just happen to be accurate as well. Now, having said that, that's not this kid. I mean, he's getting better. He is getting better, and he looked good at the combine. So is he going to do freakish things at the combine? Yes. But was he able to show touch on the ball? Yes. But guys, that's touch on the ball without any pass rush coming at him. That's touch on the ball knowing the route the receiver's going to run. It's touch on the ball knowing that he doesn't have to run from his position. He can just get a snap of the ball and just wait and throw. I mean, couldn't most of us guys that have ever thrown football ever do that? You know what I mean? Maybe not as well as him, maybe not look as good, but close. You know what I mean? And so I don't take too much from that. There are things that you should take from the combine. There really are. The combine is not an underwear Olympics like people like to dub it. I happen to take the combine seriously. But for example, if guys' numbers get better in the combine, it's a show that when they came out of college, when they go into the combine, they're going into it with the idea that I'm going to raise my value, which is fine, but you're also raising that player's ability. They are technically getting faster. They are getting stronger. If the guy can do more reps at 225 because he trained really hard before he came to the combine, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? That's not fudging the numbers. So tell us about Carr and New Orleans and your thoughts. Kim Calhoun, I would say that I don't like it. I think that Carr could have just as easily went to another situation and it would have been a lot better. And no, I'm not talking about the Jets. But by going to the Saints and taking $60 million guaranteed, I did my research. I happen to know that the Saints are coming out of the pocket for $20+ million to players and coaching staff that aren't on the roster anymore. So that means you've got $80 million guaranteed going into the team and one quarterback, and now you can't build or fix anything. And people keep wanting to throw back at me how good their defense is. Yeah, their defense was pretty good last year, but they also lost a defensive end. They're going to lose one of their corners. I don't think this is going to work. I think Derek Carr, once again, is going to end up on a team with some holes in it. They're going to make excuses for him. He's going to run the ball up between the 20s a lot, but he's not going to get enough touchdowns. And, he's going to have another, darn, so close, maybe next year. Pete Vasquez, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Any rumors you've heard about Devontae Adams being traded to the Saints is BS. There's no talks of any sort of that kind. That is not true. Oh, God. Good, Jim Vanderland. I'm glad to hear you got your shirt. All right, let's see. Moving up to number 4 overall for 23, 4th, and 2nd in 24. Rick Summerall, you confused me on that one. But I got to say, if we're going to take one of the quarterbacks, yes, we're going to have to move up to 3 or 4. But I just don't know who you take. I just don't know who I trust. I mean, I have so many friends that are so sure about Richardson now just from watching a little bit of combine tape. And I'm just like, guys, come on. I mean, in that way, it is the underwear Olympics. He's just playing catch. You know what I mean? And we know he's fast. He's a physical freak. The guy did a standing backflip on camera. I mean, we know he's a physical freak. I love that. But I don't know if that translates to wins. Tanamoku, what's up? Welcome to the show. I have a friend who has 2 Chargers tattoos, and he walked away when they moved to Los Angeles. He lives here in Vegas and now reps silver and black. Wow, poor guy. What's up, my brother Bear? What's up with you, Oso Raider? Appreciate you tuning in. And by the way, don't forget who your host is for April 15th, April 16th. It's right around the corner. My guy Oso Raider is right here in comments. If you want tickets or more information, reach out to Oso Raider. This is going to be a hell of a show. It's going to be an incredible time. All chapters, all Raider fans are welcome. Okay, even Niner fans. We don't promise we won't make fun of you, but you are welcome, Niner Beto. I'm sure you're watching. Tanamoku, honestly, I've been worried about Vegas fan too, because I felt like Vegas fan was going to give the Raiders a chance. There's a lot of Niners and Cowboy fans in Vegas. I looked, the polls show Dallas and the Niners were really high with fans in Vegas. But I think that Vegas is a fickle fan because most of them have moved to Vegas from other states. So they don't have a football team home anymore. So they've come to Vegas and they say, yeah, I'm a Viking fan. Yeah, I'm a New York Giants fan. Yeah, I'm a Cardinals fan. And they just came from all over the state and ended up in Vegas. So long story short, they'll root for what's in Vegas if it wins, if it shows respect to Vegas. See, Vegas to me is the same issue you have when you're in Los Angeles. If you're a Laker, if you're a Dodger, there's additional pressure for you to win because of where you live. You know what I mean? If you're a Yankee, there's additional pressure for you to win because of where you play. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's that with us in Vegas. I just can't believe I'm totally shook that Josh Jacobs agreed to be tagged. He's worth so much more. Corinna Trujillo, he's doing is he's playing the good face. In other words, if he comes out in the media and goes, this is ridiculous and this is an outrage, it only makes him look greedy. It only makes him look bad to the fans. He's playing his hand perfectly. Just keep being the good worker until you can get away from us and go somewhere where you can demand the dollar figure you deserve. And that's it. Because we're not going to pay him. We're not going to pay him. Will Compton came. Oh, yeah, you can tag twice. Yes. Thank you, Rick Samarano. Will Compton came out and told the Raiders to get him and Lewin. The Chiefs won't be making the playoffs. We need that mentality of this team on this team. Pro Football Focus states that Levante David fits best with the Raiders. Possibly we get Frank Clark to come over. And you think there's any real shot of those? Also, how do any of us not want Levis after watching him at the Combine? Welcome to the show again, Ted Thane. I would say to you, beyond all that other stuff, I'm going to kind of work backwards. The reason why some people are not hot on Will Levis is because they're so much hotter on Anthony Richardson's physical tools and CJ Stroud and Bryce Young's physical tools that they don't see that necessarily in Will Levis. But Will Levis is plan B to their physical talents, and to me, a real good one because he can run, not as fast, but he's good, and he's got a little bit more accurate arm right now. Not that he didn't throw interceptions at school and in games, he did. But I thought that was a product more of making mistakes than it was of throwing a bad ball. Does that make sense? He throws good balls, but sometimes he throws into coverage. Daryl Neal, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. But he's going to have that time to learn that at the next level. Brett Knipe, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Joel Irons, my friend, says one more time. That profile picture is fantastic, brother. You and your wife are stunning. I'm being patient with McDaniels as the coach, but after 3 years, I will be holding a flamethrower ready to see him blaze if we don't have a winning team. No, Mark Davis has been in charge of the Raiders for 12 years. He's won nothing. Are we going to give McDaniels 12? I mean, we have to give Mark Davis all this time. He's the owner. But no, I'm already done with Josh McDaniels. McDum-dum. McTank a season. McDisrespect Josh Jacobs. McDisrespect Josh Jacobs. That's going to be a flavor on McDonald's menu soon. I'm good with Jacobs getting tagged. Love him on the team. Hopefully they can get a long-term deal done. Ted, there's no way. They're doing the prototype move that NFL teams do to these running backs now. They use you until you're gone. Come look at this for a second. They use you until you're gone, and then once you're gone, that's it. And then they don't sign you anymore. And remember, do me a small favor and don't forget to like and follow Raider Bear Family Page on YouTube and on Facebook. You could say hi to Mama Bear, and I'm just showing her that, I appreciate all you guys coming in and subscribing and liking and following your boy on YouTube and Facebook and Raider Bear Family Page and all the things we're doing. I know we tell you all the time, but we want to talk about it every single day. That's my girl. Where do we miss? Oakland, the city. And I've been raising money for years now, but I'm doing it for the last 2 years as a commitment from the show to the homeless. I'm also working with St. Jude's. I'm working with Punks for Autism. I'm working with the Kind Fund through CNBC, Kids in Need of Desks. We were pledging 13 to 14 kids in school to Africa last year, and we ended up getting 28.
And don't forget the animals, the World Wildlife Foundation.
We also contribute to the World Wildlife Foundation and are exclusively, what do you call that? Adopted a lion and an elephant, or a tiger and an elephant. Not a lion.
I'm trying to get an owl.
Nice. Who is you hoping for at pick number 7? Marky Lashley, I'm almost hoping we trade down. I don't think we have to go for a quarterback in this draft. Caleb Williams, the star at USC, is just sitting there at USC in his sophomore season. Next year, he's going to come out. We could use a draft pick him up, and have the young quarterback of the future then. And that's just a name off the top of my head. And there's so many guys in this draft at quarterback. I can't even tell you. I'm just going to give you a couple of quick names that we could get late, and it would be nice, okay? So first, Stetson Bennett. He's considered the 25th best quarterback. And that's the kid from Georgia that threw for 2,862 yards, 29 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions. I mean, that's pretty good. Phil Yurkovich of Boston College, 914 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And then you got guys like Will Levis, Kentucky, Clayton Tune of Houston. Clayton Tune of Houston threw for 3,544 yards, 35 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. So there's some real gunslingers in this draft. Will Rogers of Mississippi State, 4,700 and 39 yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions. Holy moly. I mean, you got some guys in here, man, that they have some pedigree. You know what I mean? They really do. You got some guys in here that have some pedigree that are real nice. So I'm not saying which one necessarily we have to get, or if we even have to get one this year. But if we do, there's a dozen plus guys coming out of this draft that can throw the rock. Troy Gill, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I would love it if we if we can move up and get CJ. Brent Knight, that would be dope, but we have to remember we're not going to see him for a year, and we got to worry about winning now. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to put him out there now. I think it's possible, you know what I mean, that maybe they do something like Pittsburgh did, where they wait until week 6, week 7, something like that, and then bring the kid out, you know what I mean, and see how he feels. What's happening in the quarterback situation? Troy Gill, I'm not sure just yet. Depending on whom is open, but the cornerback of Oregon, Skoronski, Paris, Trenches, but if Richardson is available, got to pull it. Rick Samorano, I don't know if I agree with that. I just don't know if Richardson is ever going to be the guy. What if he's just another Justin Fields? Do you want Justin Fields? And couldn't Justin Fields go into the combine and do damn near everything Anthony Richardson's just done? Would his numbers be a little differently? Yeah, but it's almost the same guy. And we've seen that with Fields, it did pan out. Now a guy with even less experience than Justin Fields had going in, we should bet the farm on with the number 7 overall pick. I don't know about that one. Jerome Clemens, Bear, you're on YouTube? Holy shut your mouth. That's awesome. Congrats, brother. Now I see a report. We are looking at Lamar. Any thoughts? I know that we're looking at Lamar, but I know that we're also not going to finish that deal, because what people don't understand is not don't understand, but may not know, is that Lamar Jackson's mother is his agent. And she just watched Deshaun Jackson, a guy who has nowhere near as good a resume as Lamar Jackson. I mean, Deshaun Watson, excuse me. Just watched Deshaun Watson of 20 plus rape accusations get a $230 million guaranteed contract. And so she wants to see the same for Lamar, or he ain't going to play for you until she finds someone that will pay that, you know. I think it would have to be someone like Dallas, but I think they would have to be out from under Dak already, and they're not. I think they still want to work with Dak a little bit and maybe figure out if that was just a an off year for him, an off moment for him, and maybe he's going to be better. He's not. He's Black Derek Carr. He teases you with greatness, and then I didn't even pause to let you laugh at my Black Derek Carr reference, but he's Black Derek Carr. He even wears the same number, for Christ's sakes. It's karma. Frankie Raider Baloo, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Raiders. AP, Anthony Penn in the house. Bam! If we move up, I want to see a trade with the Cardinals. Their 3rd overall and Hopkins for our 7th overall. They're not going to give you Hopkins. No way. For our 7th overall in Renfro and maybe like a 5th round pick. Well, okay. Then if you were talking about Renfro and a 5, then maybe. Then we draft Levy. Still not sold on Richardson. I don't care how high he can jump. Correct. I mean, that's how I feel about it. It's not that I don't think he could end up being the great quarterback that all of you that want Richardson, he may end up becoming the quarterback you all think he is. But the evidence of that is not there visually. It's just not. If you want to look at any tape of him training or anywhere else or in games, you will see inconsistencies. You will see moments where he's not accurate, missing guys, high, low, left, right, that are wide open. That's a fact. We have video of this. Okay, now he has physical tools that are incredibly impressive. Does that change those other facts? No. They make you forget about them, apparently. But not me. I don't forget about them. Young and Stroud, Will and Rich, it doesn't matter who. Mike Long. Mike Long, I would have to disagree with you about that. I think it does matter who. I don't think Bryce Young has the frame for the NFL. I really don't. And I don't see him gaining a lot of weight. And now here we are in this offseason. You're coming into the combine. He had time from when the college season ended to the combine to bulk up, and he didn't. You know what I mean? I would have liked to have seen him show at least some emergency and urgency in his own professional career and say to the NFL, I hear the only drawback against me is my weight and my size. So, okay, I'm going to put on 10 pounds, which would have been easy for him to do. Just get a diet guy, keep working out. You gain 10, 15 pounds. You show up and they go, ooh, look at his new guns. And, then he gets drafted number 1, which he'll probably get anyway. Rick Samarano, I get it. I would go to Japan too. A little bit more rare trip. Pete Vasquez, I thought our report card was impressive. We were the 3rd best overall team, facility, and stuff we provide, strength and conditioning coaches and blah, 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 blah. I thought it was pretty good, although our players did have some anonymous comments about how they didn't like Josh McDaniels and wouldn't go on the record for him. Other than that, I mean, what team doesn't have players that don't like the coach? Bobby Ware, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Aloha, Oso Raider. Steve, you guys, fact of the matter is there's been lots of hype of other quarterbacks coming out of the draft, which have been total busts. So we never know what we're going to get. Steve, you guys, great profile pick. Welcome to the show. And I got to agree completely. But again, I want to say that with a grain of salt, because those of you who want Anthony Richardson, I can't blame you. Because if he gets to the NFL and those of us on the other side of the fence that think his inaccuracies and things won't change, if we're wrong, if you get that guy and he goes to the NFL and becomes accurate, even just Jalen Hurts, even just Jalen Hurts level accurate, if he gets to that, all bets are off. Rude Boy Raider 305, Arn Farrell, Miami in the house. What's up, Rude? The franchise tag will force Jacobs to stay healthy this season. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Jacobs thinks like that, though. You know what I mean? Last year was his prove-it-year deal, and he damn near broke his hand, and he kept playing. Corinna Trujillo, it's my pleasure, love. Hi, Prez. I was making coffee right now. Anna Diaz Rincon saying hi to Oso Raider. I have faith that whoever would be best in the draft, McMoron, will pick someone else. I'm kind of hoping that he just goes with Skoronski. At 7, I want the boring. I want boring. I want him to take Skoronski and then take Weatherspoon or one of the better cornerbacks in the country at 38. And then once we start to get a little bit lower and we get to those 2 fifth-round picks, go strictly defensive linebacker. Get somebody nice off the board. What's up with the quarterbacks? What do you think? What are you thinking? I think we can keep the second thing as a first string. George Prieto, I think that we're probably going to bring in a guy. We're going to keep Stidham at the number 2, and we're going to trade or take someone off free agency and bring him to the Raiders to throw the rock for a year. Like, for example, like we've heard a lot of with Jacoby Brissett. But I won't get into that again. I know you guys have heard that reported ad nauseum. With the tag to Jacobs, how much more does that help us spend in other areas needed? Vernon Moshman, good question. It saves us about $9 million. But in my opinion, that's just to be spread around and maybe 2 more guys, if at best. The Titans are wanting to move on from Derrick Henry. Bob Stannard, I would say to you that if anything with him, he probably ends up with the Buccaneers. You know what I mean? Or maybe even the Eagles, a team that's close, because that running back Sanders that was with the Eagles in this last run to the Super Bowl, he's a free agent. He's definitely going to hit the market. He's definitely going to get picked up by someone else. He's going to cash in on that Super Bowl appearance with another team, and then they're going to be looking for a running back. Well, what better than the one-time reigning league running champion who's just a brick house of a semi-truck? I'd bring him in. Hi, Val. Hi, Tommy. Oh, good. I'm glad. Levy's didn't have NFL prospect targets because Kentucky isn't a powerhouse team like OSU. Florida and Georgia. Could you imagine if he had targets like that? We would be talking about Kentucky like they do Bama, Georgia, Florida, and OSU. Brio Holbert, that's a great point. I haven't had anyone bring that up before. It's an obvious point, because obviously if you have better players, open the door for him. Because obviously if you have better players, at quarterback, you're going to do better things. So I would say I agree with that. But Will, love you too, woman. But Will Levis, in my opinion, looks good enough. What he's shown thus far looks good enough. But what you're saying, he would be vaulted to probably top 3 for sure. Had he had some of the weapons that they get at those other schools, like you say. So yes, your point is well taken. Jerome Clemens. So are you against getting Lamar? I see reports we are looking into him. I personally have a thing for a special hooker. Well, Hendon Hooker could be brought in. I don't know that the Raiders would want to pay Lamar Jackson that kind of money. They may see him as worth that much and do it, but I just don't think that Mark Davis can pay that kind of contract. I just don't think that Mark Davis would be brave enough to take on that kind of contract. You're talking about a $230 million guaranteed contract. It has to be guaranteed. His mom won't take less, so he's not coming to the Raiders. We may be looking. I'm not saying we're not looking. So when I say we're not going to do it, I'm not saying your report that we're looking is wrong. I'm saying that we're just doing our due diligence. The Raiders are looking at him. You should do that. They're looking into what it would cost. They're looking into that, but they can't afford it. Now, before anyone disagrees with me, let me remind you, this is the season that the new TV contracts kick in. And the salary cap is going up, and not by a little. And that's why Deshaun Watson got the crazy contract he did, because they knew the following season when he would actually be the starter from day one and be doing things, that would be when his contract would really be kicking in. That would be when they'd really be paying him for football, not those handful of games he played the end of this season. So long story short, because of those TV contracts kicking in, everyone's getting bonuses, which always means the quarterbacks eat. The quarterback contracts always get crazy. So now what we saw back in the day, not 3-4 years ago, when Patrick Mahomes got that crazy $200 million contract, we all went, oh my God. And now that's nothing. You know what I mean? You can get, if you're getting a quality starter that's a winner for that, that's a deal now. Omar Godoy, I don't think that Garoppolo is out of the wind yet, but it's getting close, because I think there's a very good chance that he may sign with one of these other teams other than the Niners and us, of course. Jim, I'm not saying that Lamar didn't get the franchise tag. He did, but the Ravens can still negotiate trading him. What we know now with Travis Kelce, would you take him at 7? No, because Richardson can be wide receiver, tight end. Does he have a good heart? Would like to see more of him. Rick Samarano, welcome again. I get that, but no, that wouldn't happen. We need a pass rusher and an inside linebacker and safety in draft. What are the best prospects in those positions in the draft? Troy Gill, I can't go over each position with you right now, but I would say to you that the linebacker position, out of the 319 players that are in this next draft, 34 of the 319 players are linebackers. It's one of the highest numbered positions in the amount of players invited to the draft. So in other words, when you went through all the different positions and counted them up, linebacker is one of the highest positions that was drafted in this draft. So with 34 linebackers drafted to go into the draft, you're literally guaranteeing at least one football team is going to get a high quality college linebacker. Huh. No, Nicholas Made, I see you. Found you, Bear, on YouTube. My comments are under my wife Cheryl's account, though. Okay. Would it be smart to pay Lamar that kind of money? I feel we have too many holes to fill, and paying one guy that much doesn't help us in the long run. Right. Ted, what Ted's saying is, I'm going to just simplify what Ted just said. He's saying we're not a good enough team to then spend a wad on one guy like we're going to make a run now because we get that one guy. And he's right. If we go out there and spend the wad on Lamar, we're still going to have all the same deficiencies on defense. You know what I mean? And you can't have that. You got to have balance. Karina Trujillo, I love that comment. And all of you, and I don't know how many of you have given stars yet. I think some of you did, and I missed it. I apologize for that. Remember, stars contributing to the show go directly to the Kind Fund, Kids in Need of Desk, Punks for Autism, which is one of my near and dear favorites. I actually have family working at Punks for Autism. And on, World Wildlife Fund, and so on. We're really doing a lot, and we've actually, physically, Mama Bear, sorry. I get the hiccups now. But Mama Bear and I physically have been going out and feeding and giving to the homeless for years now. Jimmy G is looking at the Raiders and the Texans. John LaJoy, I don't even think Jimmy G wants to come to the Raiders. If you notice, Tom Brady, even if he did want to come back, which now you're hearing reports he may come back, it's still not going to be the Raiders. You're hearing it's the Dolphins that are urging him and kind of, enticing him to come back and pull a full-on Brett Favre and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, pass. I think the smart move would be to sign Stidham and draft a quarterback, whomever that may be. Nicholas Maynard, we have already signed Stidham. We have a new contract with Stidham, so he's done. We're going to probably go after one of these young quarterbacks. Not sure which one. I hope it's Will Levis. I just think he's the most ready-to-go quarterback. And I could see a circumstance where they also trade for Mac Jones. Right? Now you're remaking the entire quarterback room. Mac Jones, Jarrett Stidham with a new contract, and a kid out of college to learn behind both of them. I like that. Raider Rick Flairbear, I love the grunts. Give me some Skoronski. O-line, D-line is deep. I'm intrigued by Siaki, Ika, defensive tackle Baylor, and defensive tackle from Northwestern is a beast. Kenneth Parsons, I agree. I think the smartest move we could make would be to pick the best player available defensively. If it happens to be that kid from Georgia that slipped in the draft, that's slipping in the draft because of a car accident, I'm signing that guy. I'm sorry, I'm signing that guy. I'm signing Carter because, someone's going to. You know what I mean? And all he's going to do is refresh and rehab his image by playing good football. I would bring him in. Make him a Las Vegas Raider. Let his mystique of that give us some oomph. I think our 15 can improve his accuracy with a good quarterback coach. Man, will show a lot of people. Well, Anthony Richardson, Jerome Clemens, I can't argue that it's scary. It's scary to pass up on him because if he pans out in any way, you're really missing on a guy. Jerome Clemens said, I think Henry's going to Buffalo. That's a great estimate. I agree with that because Buffalo couldn't run the ball to save their lives. I mean, whenever your quarterback's your number one running back for like 2 years in a row, you got a problem. Are the rumors of the Chargers releasing and/or trading Mac true? Those are true. They are not rumors. In fact, I believe he got released. I don't believe that they're going to trade him. I don't think they can. I don't think they have control. But as far as Khalil Mack coming back to the Raiders, not sure. Went to 54 for a minute. Yeah.
It's still steady.
Yeah. But as far as Khalil Mack, though, I would say it would be a great story because with Max Crosby drawing attention away, you put Khalil Mack on the other side. You got Mama Bear going like this, like she just finished her barbecue ribs the other night. That turned me on. Go on, tell the truth. But the truth is, if you get a guy like Mac, even with the fact that he's only going to give you somewhere around 6 to 8 sacks, which I say only, but I mean that would be a blessing to us. That would be incredible. How about Miles Murphy, Bear? Miles Murphy's a great athlete. Tanimoku, I wouldn't mind that at all. But if you're going to get Miles Murphy, you probably have to move up. Wouldn't he be like top 6, I think? Top 5? Especially now with Carter from Georgia Tech dropping. You got to wonder. Rendell Rhodes, what's up? Welcome to the show. I think Baltimore will match eventually. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If Rodgers stays in Green Bay, I'd like to bring in Jordan Love. Do you think that would be doable? Jim Vanderland, it's not only doable, it's highly likely. Because remember, Jordan Love is forcing the wheel the same way Aaron Rodgers is. I don't know how many of you remember this, but it was like 3 weeks before the end of the season. In other words, there was only 3 games left in the season. And it was Jordan Love in the press very vocally saying, play me or trade me. He said, play me or trade me to Green Bay. So they've got, both quarterbacks pushing them, and Green Bay's looking at Aaron Rodgers going, come on, man, make up your effing mind. And now they're saying they don't care what he wants to do. They want to move on from him. I think they want to give Jordan Love the starting position. It's just a matter of where Aaron Rodgers lands. And you got to take your time. For those of you who want him to go fast, you can't go fast. It's the same reason why Derek Carr didn't go fast. It got him max money. But he did the very thing he said he didn't want to do. He hamstrung a team because now when he joins them, they're not going to have any money to do anything with the team to help him win. Main thing is the trenches, right? What's up, Michael Guerrero? Oh, if you have an opportunity to get Carter, you pull the trigger. That's how I feel about it, Rick Samarano. I mean, people say, but what about this and what about that? And I'm like, okay, but somebody's going to get him. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be us. Somebody going to get him. Somebody's going to say, hey, I'll let the kid rehab his image with me. Brian Holbert said, much respect, Bear. Love your show, bro. Showing the Raider love from Kentucky for almost 40 years. I raised my 14-year-old right. Also, he's a Raider fan. Nice, Brian. Welcome to the show. And you and your son are welcome on anytime. I really appreciate the love. George Prieto, I don't like Baker Mayfield, but if it was just for 1 year, I'd be on board. I know that sounds crazy, but I think Baker Mayfield is kind of like lightning in a bottle. He feels like if you got him in just the right situation, he can do it, but not consistently. This is not a guy that's going to be in the league for 10 years. You know what I mean? You guys got to understand that. Baker Mayfield is a lightning in a bottle. He's literally going to strike at some point or he's not. That's it. There's not going to be any long career. He's not going to be this tested veteran that wins lots of games. That's never going to happen. He's going to bounce around a little bit no matter how well he plays, and then he'll be out of the league. Mike Brown, what's up? Welcome to the show. You know, Rendell Rhodes, I'm not coming around on AR-15. I'm just saying if we got him, I'm good with that. I think he's a massive risk, and that's why I like Will Levis. But as much as you think Anthony Richardson is way better than Will Levis, and I know some people do feel that way, I would say to you, he's way better than Will Levis in what way? He's got big muscles. Oh, he's a sexy tattooed black guy that can do a backflip. And Will Levis has none of that sex appeal. But he can throw the rock and he can put it where it's supposed to be. And he's got balls. And I'm sorry, I'll take that every day of the week over a guy with a Dwight Howard physique that shows up and plays like Mighty Mouse. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not saying that about Anthony Richardson. In fact, I'm not saying anything negative about him at all. I mean, the guy's going to show up at 235, 240 pounds, throwing lasers. You know, it's just, can you get him to an accurate quarterback? Can he read defenses? Will he do it quickly and not make mistake throws? I saw him make a lot of mistake throws. Anthony Richardson would go back in his drop, kind of see things, then roll one way or the other, and then see a wide receiver coming across, but would not see the defender coming across from the other way, and he would throw right into it. You know, can that be taught out of him? I don't know. Rose Ortega said, I love the return of the Mac. That would make my season. You know, honestly, it would be a pretty darn good love story, I have to admit. I think we have to get a DT before third round. We need a dog, a DT, and after third round, talent drops significantly. I don't agree with that at all, Jerome Clemens. I think we're going to see talent way down into the fifth round. And I've been telling people to watch our 2 fifth-round picks and then remember those names. And the reason I'm saying it is because, once again, the Raider Bear is putting his expertise and his neck on the line, and he's telling you that from what I can see, those 2 fifth-round picks for the Raiders are going to pay dividends. I'm telling you. You'll see. I'll talk about it more on draft day when I do my draft show. Breeze Raiders Nation said, what do you think of Robinson from the Rams as a number 2? That would work. And you could get him cheap, too. Jordan Love has been waiting and knows the system. He knows the system. I think you need to move on from Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't know our system, so you'd have to coach him up. But I would still bring in Jordan Love if there was a deal there to be made. Yes, that same guy, Troy Gill, the defensive lineman with the off-the-field problems. But yes, he has off-the-field problems, but someone's going to sign him, I'm telling you. Kimberly Calhoun Smith. Hi, Mama Bear. I just figured out how to comment on YouTube. Raiders. What's up, love? Welcome again. Vernon Moshman. Just wondering how Zamir will do this upcoming year at running back. He is still coming off injuries since college. Vernon Moshman, welcome to the show. Two Achilles tears for Zamir White. So, yeah. But see, to me, I never liked the Zamir White pick. I think the athlete that he is, the toughness is undeniable, but double Achilles tears is not okay. It's just not for a kid that young. And now, can he heal just as fast or faster as anyone from that injury because of his youth? Yes. But do we want to gamble millions on that? I would have said no, and we did, and it didn't pay off. Because to me, a guy with Achilles tears is always going to be a guy that needs days off. There's always going to be times when he feels a calf strain, and a calf strain is the precursor to a Achilles tear. So when he feels calf tightness all season last season, when he felt calf tightness, they would sit him down. And Rick Summer, Rano reminds you, if you care, you share a Raider Bear. Appreciate you, brother. I heard we've been talking to that quarterback from Fresno State. His name is Jake Hader a lot. And then one of our offensive coordinators is going to one of those pro days at Fresno State. Armando Guzman, yes, a very tough kid. I've heard a lot. I've watched some of the tape. He's got a good arm. He's tough. He's smart. Now, would he fit what Josh McDaniels wants to do? I would say yes, absolutely. Because Josh McDaniels has shown a little bit of a fetish for wanting a quarterback that can throw from the pocket, but that can run a little bit. He wants quarterbacks that are mobile. He wants his quarterback to be mobile. Even though you haven't seen that, his most recent work, obviously, was Tom Brady, an immobile quarterback, Derek Carr, a limited mobility quarterback, and Jarrett Stidham, a limited mobility quarterback. But his first pick ever when he was in charge, when he was the head of the Broncos, Tim Tebow, running quarterback. So I agree that should be, I agree that, I agree draft should be safe picks. O-line, D-line, linebackers, I'd be happy with taking care of those and then getting Stetson Bennett later in the draft. You know, the Stetson Bennett thing, one person brought it up to me and I immediately was like, no, you know, there's other quarterbacks. But at the same time, thinking about it again, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. He's a little completion guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a number one, but I think he brings enough to the table that he could be a definite number two. We could move on from Stidham, eventually get someone else. But I don't know that guy's ever going to be, you know, throwing the rock as a team's franchise guy. George Prieto, I don't know if I'm going to have a draft party, but I'm definitely going to have a draft show. Draft party. George Prieto, you got me thinking now. Maybe I'll do that. And if I do, it's in your honor, brother. Yeah, I agree. Levis is just more accurate. Dang, Smith is on here still. I'm not trusting anyone who it's mayonnaise is their coffee. Nope, can't do it. Doc Raider, I know Mayfield beat us with only looking at the playbook for 36 hours, but I still think he's a bum. Well, no, you're right. He is a bum. He's never going to be a good starter. Never. But could he be for a season? Could you win enough games to get to the playoffs and then maybe do something with him? I think you could. I really do. I think he's one of those guys that is destined to give you a good season. But I don't think he's a guy that can give you consistency. That's it. You know what I mean? He's not going to be a consistent winner. So if you gave him a franchise right now for 4 years, he'll have one hell of a year somewhere in those 4. But that's it. I'm saying if Carter is gone and Richardson is there, which I believe he will be gone, Levis at 7's not for me. Skoronski is mine if the above is not there. Rick, we're brothers from some other mother. You know, we agree on that one. I like Skoronski a lot. QBs throw, running backs run. Only real special players switch. Quarterbacks that run have short lifespans. And they don't win Super Bowls very often, Matt Marinovich. I agree. Island Jen, and I sang Raiders. Kenny Blair, what's up, brother? All the way overseas, the land of whiskey and crumpets. You going to bring a bottle of tequila, George? I know you would. Troy Gill, well, I mean, honestly, if we want Bennett, it's doable. He's considered the 20th or 25th ranked quarterback in this draft. So if we wanted him, we could get him somewhere in the 5th or 6th round if we wanted to. A justifiable pick at that point because of his pedigree. He won the national title, but, you know, he's too small. I don't think he's got enough big enough arm. You know what I mean? I just think he's going to be a lifetime backup guy. In a dream situation, we could have Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, and Khalil Mack. If we can get the defense right, we don't need an amazing quarterback. We need someone to manage the game and not lose it if we can get the defense right. I agree, Ted Thane. And especially if you bring in Khalil Mack, that creates that trio, just bringing in with one guy. Now you work on the offensive line. Now I'm not quite as iffy on Stidham. The only reason why I didn't really like the idea of going with Stidham is because I didn't think we'd be able to protect him well enough. But I would say that about any quarterback we bring in if it isn't a mobile quarterback. Edgard Lucky De Leon, I'm doing well, brother. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you. Bear, I know you're not afraid to put money on our team. So if your money's on the line, who takes the first snap as quarterback next season? Game 1, day 1. Jarrett Stidham. I hate to say it, but I just think that I just think that this next season might not be tanking, but it's going to be more like what we had last season. We're going to get some leads and lose them. We're going to have some games we win that we shouldn't. We're going to lose some games that we shouldn't. We're going to win some games that we shouldn't. It's going to be another weird year. And they're going to go like this and say, hey, we're still building it. You know, Rome wasn't built in, 12 years, according to Mark Davis. I don't like it. Bennett spells car 2.0. I'm staying far away if it was me. Yeah, I just got done saying it. He's just too small. Angel on everyone's pillows and sweet dreams tonight. More angels on everyone's shoulders for a beautiful and blessed Wednesday tomorrow. Appreciate the love, Corinna Trill. A great prayer. I think Baker Mayfield would make an excellent backup and could sure win a game or 3 if you needed him. But as a season starter, nah. Jim Vanderlyn, we kind of see eye to eye. I'm just basically saying I would put him behind Stidham in a competition and then go get a young guy and then let Stidham and Baker Mayfield fight it out for who's going to start. And that's a huge distraction for Raider Nation. It helps Josh McDaniels to keep doing his plans without having to win right away because he has 2 excuses for not winning right away. Because whenever you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. Ted Thane said, God bless to you, Corinna, and he appreciates the blessing, as do we all. And so last but not least, I just want to drop this before I get off. And I'm sorry if some of what I had to talk about tonight was repetitive. I know we've had to talk about Aaron Rodgers, ad nauseum, and Anthony Richardson and his freakish skills and who we pick at 7th and blah, blah. But, and what my opinion is of what we're going to do and so on. But I'm going to say something else, and I just want to go into this for a second. I think next year is going to be a crazy season because you're going to see teams spend money, I think, like never before. And I'm waiting because I think Dallas is going to be the team that's going to make some kind of splash move. I really do. I think Jerry Jones is one of those guys that he recognizes his mortality. He knows that he's only got so many years of being the man and spending all this money on his Dallas Cowboys that sooner or later he's going to have to give it to his sons or turn it over to someone, and when that time comes, he wants to be able to say he found another ring. You know what I mean? And I have a strong sensation that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be the ones that make some moves here. I really do. I don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going to go, but I really could see Jerry Jones do just something nuts and reach out to Green Bay and do whatever it takes to get Aaron Rodgers in Dallas. And we all know now at this point that it's not going to take much. Green Bay's already admitted repeatedly that not only is he a pain in their neck, but now they do want him out. You know what I mean? They're not even being shy about it anymore. They're saying we're done with him. And now we're looking at offers. Well, Aaron Rodgers is gone. And no doubt about it to me. It's just a matter of where now. You should get some F. McDaniel shirts like the ones you did Antonio Brown. Stiddy and Jacoby Brissett battle it out for the starting job. I think Jacoby Brissett would beat him if that's the case. I hope the news reports that we've been hearing that they're talking Jacoby Brissett. I hope that's true. I would imagine that Jacoby Brissett's agent has reached out to Josh McDaniels, which would have been really easy. And you got to see the parallel there. For those of you who don't know, Jacoby Brissett played under Josh McDaniels for a few years with New England. So, Night Anna Diaz Rincon, appreciate the love. You and your husband look great there. Matthew Lincoln, we are not still in talks with Green Bay, not Rodgers. Although Rodgers is in charge, we're not in talks with Rodgers. We're in talks with Green Bay. But I don't think we are anymore. I think that ship has sailed. I don't see any scenario where we're able to get that done. He's just gonna cost. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, you all tuning in tonight. I will see you again tomorrow. Raider Bear, Family Page. Good night, good love, and I'll see you soon. Peace.